Hey, what's going on, everyone? Eman here from the C-List Villains podcast. And this week, we're talking New Comic Book Day, March 24th, 2021. On this episode, special guest, friend of the show, straight from Team Nerd Herd themselves, I have Mr. Hip Hops in me himself, Steve. He came by and kicked it with me this weekend to talk about our picks for this Wednesday. I'm wondering what he chose. Come and kick it. Because I just bought another long box, but I'm going to have 3 long boxes and probably 4 or 5 short boxes.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
But
well,
I've been
four or 5 short boxes,
yeah.
So technically that's 2 long boxes and a short box.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because when you put them together, that's a long box right there.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, shoot, let's get things started. Steve, Hip Hops and me, thank you so much for joining me on my New Comic Book Day for March 24th, 2021, my friend. What's going on today, man?
Nothing much, man. Just ready to get some picks going, man. I know you got some picks. I know I got some picks, and I'm ready and raring to go, man. Let's get these people what they want.
I'm looking forward to your picks. We talked a little bit about this, and typically I try to have at least one pick aligned with my guest, but this week I couldn't because the books that you chose were so out there for me. I was like, I know nothing about it. So this show I'm actually really looking forward to because I know you have some things that you're going to introduce me and some of the listeners to.
In my coming back into comic books in May, dude, I was buying not everything, but I didn't buy too much of DC. I only stuck to Batman and Wonder Woman. But then I was buying indies, and after that, man, I just kept reading nothing but indies. I still have a little bit of Marvel, but it's all mainly indie titles that I read. So,
see, and that I'm kind of on the same page with you. It was like Marvel and DC for me, like the big two. There's only some of the comics that really have me intrigued, like the Batman. I'm with you. I'm looking
100%.
forward to Wonder Girl when Yara Flora comes back. So, but I'm not engaged in the big Marvel stuff. I'm more Boom, Image. But you even have some indies that are not even one of those indies. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, man. I'm ready to, get these picks going.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and start off with your number 1. Now, here on the show, we're not saying that 1, 2, or 3, that's the order of likeness. It's just an order. So these could be in no particular order. So, what's your number 1 pick for New Comic Book Day, March 24th?
My number 1 pick this week is going to be Bitterroot, the 3rd arc. It's just come back in. You got writer Chuck Brown, friend to the Team Nerd Herd podcast. You got Sanford Green on the drawing, and my God, man, I mean, it's just an amazing tale. What it really comes down to is you have this family. This has this lineage. They're called the Sandrayi family, and it's somewhere along the lines of in Brooklyn, and there is bigotry and hatred, and within all that turns people into monsters. And this Sandrayi family that has a lineage, the matriarch, she makes this root that cures them, and they believe in curing. Some folks, they don't. Like the family is a family of 4. You have the matriarch. You have the power and the brains, who's the older uncle or brother to the family, and then you have under his wing his nephew cousin that he's trying to teach to be a fighter. He doesn't want to be a fighter. He wants to be quite the opposite. He wants to do the opposite. But the women make the root to cure bigotry and hatred and this disease that is plaguing this area. You get into the mix of things where, I mean, it's much like the times now. So Chuck Brown is really insightful, really kind of, the writing kind of sucks you in, and it immediately takes you there. But this 3rd arc, I mean, the 2nd arc left you in like, oh my God, because it just opens up. The story really opens up into much more. You have another side of the family that has not been there. They have a strange family, and his beliefs are, shoot to kill. And then you have another doctor that it kind of comes into the mix, and he's like the protagonist. And so in the end, there's this huge plot, and it leaves you in the third arc where we're going to come in back now. But it's awesome. It's an amazing story. I think Chuck Brown and the creative team that are on this title with Image is amazing. I caught up a trade before, I missed out on the first arc, so I caught the trade was amazing, picked up all the issues into the second arc. I can't wait for the third arc because I know Chuck Brown has big plans for this title, and it's also been optioned, so that's the best part.
Oh, hold on. When was this news announced?
I want to say in the middle of last year.
Okay.
So we saw that it was optioned. We're waiting to see where it goes. I know Chuck is super excited. I know the creative team is excited. It's a real urban comic book too, man. I mean, I love the flavor of it. I love what it ensues. There's a lot of soul that went into it. So I mean, it's such an amazing Image title. So if you haven't picked it up, I would say pick it up. And any of other Chuck Brown's titles, like On the Stump is another one. That's a good one. And This Bad Boy From Here, Kickstarter came through, Short Complex. But man, it's an amazing title. You guys got to get into it. So that's my first pick.
Wow, man, that one sounds exciting. And it's from Image, Chuck Brown. What's the name of it one more time?
Bitterroot.
Check it out, everyone. That sounds this I've never heard of this story. This sounds great. So check that one out right there. Let me go ahead and go with my first pick. So I'm going with Haha number 3 of 6. Anyone reading Haha right now should know that it's got that eerie clown feeling that's attached. Okay, so it's the same writer who does Ice Cream Man. Are you reading Ice Cream Man right now?
Oh yeah, I'm on Ice Cream Man and Haha.
Horror is a big thing right now in comics, and I'm really enjoying what W. Maxwell Prince is doing with both Haha and with Ice Cream Man. And just like Ice Cream Man, this is an anthology. Let me read the synopsis on this one right here. Remy says, real friends need not speak a word to each other. Our less funny than the title suggests clown anthology continues with a silent mime story illustrated by legendary cartoonist Roger Langridge. Haha has been a hit for Image right now. Haha and all of its variant covers is sought after. Everyone wants a piece of this. This is a short series you can pick up at any book, which is what's great about Ice Cream Man and Haha. I'm hoping that we're gonna get an Ice Cream Man Haha crossover possibly by the end. Rumor has it that's what's gonna happen, and it'd be cool if it does. It'd be even cooler if it's just an awesome read. But so far, I've liked everything that Image and W. Maxwell Prince have done with this book, so I'm picking that one up for sure.
I would definitely agree. I'm interested to see if the two cross over, because you have that real famous Ice Cream Man cover, and I think that he's going to be showing up into that title. But this Haha, these titles have been awesome. They've been dark. They've been really eerie. Love it. On to number 2. Well, talk to me. What's your number 2 pick for March 24th? My number 2 pick is going to be an Aftershock title known as Shadow Doctor. It's by Peter Caraway, and it's basically this doctor that has studied up. He's in the middle of segregation. He's able to get licensed, but he's not able to get hired into a hospital that he wants to go to, or into the medical field. He tries to get a loan to open up his own practice, and they turn him away. Segregation at that time is major. So what does he do? He gets wrapped up with Al Capone, starts stitching up and assisting care. This story is awesome, man. It opens up, this is Peter's tales of his great-grandfather, Nathan, who was involved in this. And basically, it opens up with him already working with Al Capone. There's a certain saying that he opens up with, and it ends in that saying as well. Immediately, it's opening up to him doing a job, him driving a truck and talking with Al Capone and just shooting the shit. It just immediately opens up to them being ambushed, and kind of goes into his memories and seeing the past of him going through school and having to face segregation. So it's a real amazing title right now. I think it's gonna probably be optioned because Peter is a Hollywood writer, so I would imagine that it could be optioned. And what an interesting story. I mean, you have a background story, but you also have Al Capone. I mean, I'm totally into mobster movies. I love that stuff, man. If I can go back, I could watch Goodfellas all the way through and all the way back every day, all day.
Nice.
But to get this title, it caught my eye just because really I look at the covers first, but I also read the synopsis. But if the art is eye-catching, I grab it. I gravitate to it. And that's what got me with Shadow Doctor. They had two covers that I was totally enamored with, man. So I had to buy them. And then after reading the story, I was talking to her, get on this title, man. This is a good one.
That sounds dope. Now, when you mentioned it to me, and like I said, none of the books I've heard of, but when you mentioned to me and I looked this one up, isn't this one based on a true story?
Yeah, this is based on a true story, his great-grandfather's story. So, I mean, it's interesting to say the least, right? I mean, if those are true things that have happened, it makes it even more interesting to me. The artwork is amazing for these issues. I mean, so if you comic collector that is based on comic covers, then this is definitely going to catch your eye. It has a beautiful yellow and blue background. It's just amazing. I'm so interested to get involved in issue 2. I just, right when Wednesday comes, I'm going to pick it up and read it right off the bat.
You should. Super. This one sounds dope. This is the one. I think this is the one when you mentioned it to me, and then when I looked it up, I was like, all right, I need to jump on this. And this is issue number 2 that's coming out. Is that correct?
Issue number 2, man.
All
so
right,
you're on board.
So issue number 1, is it still hard to find? Like, do you know? Is it? We have to jig around a little bit.
Yeah, it is. It's sold out. But I know certain comic book stores do have it. So you might be able to see the A cover. The 1 in 10 or 1 in 15 is a ghost. I have not seen that around. Okay. But yeah, if you can get issue 1, definitely get issue 1. Or if you can't, then definitely read it online to open up.
Online, of course, if it's available on Comixology is what
that's what
Steve
I'm saying.
Here is saying, of course.
Yep. Oh yeah, all day, every day, Comixology.
There you go. Well, let me get into my number 2 pick. This book I picked up just because I was in the mood. Sometimes you're just in the mood for something nice and fluffy. When I describe nice and fluffy, just something nice, something cutesy, something adorable. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and lighten things up. I read Spawn, Murder, Death, Kill. I saw this book and I was like, this looks cute. Yeah, I have a puppy. Let me go ahead and get it. This is Stray Dogs number 2.
Oh yeah. Now, Eman, I'm gonna totally admit it. I slipped on that and slept on that issue. So you're filling me in on something.
I'm not gonna spoil too much of issue number 1, but it starts off with a dog who looks like they were newly adopted. They're trying to get used to their new environment. All these other dogs are in the house. There's roughly about 10 to 15 dogs in the house, and they're all being friendly with this new dog. She's so scared. She's so timid. She doesn't know what to do. She's afraid, but everyone's trying to welcome her. Please, no, it's okay. We're family. Come on in. And I'm thinking, I'm going to the book. This is a very nice book. Like, oh, this is sweet. They're really trying to make her feel, welcome. There has to be a twist. I know there's a twist, and you can feel the tension of Stray Dogs number 1. And then you get to the final few pages, because throughout this book, the dog's like, I don't remember anything. I don't even remember how I got here. Almost like the dog had amnesia. And as soon as the owner or the master comes in, everything comes back and you see how frightened she is. It starts off nice and fluffy, and then you get like the big plot twist at the end. You're like, oh God, I need to know what happens. So let me read the synopsis for number 2. Written by Tony Fleeks, art is by Trish Forstner. Now, this is issue number 2 of 5, so this is a mini series, so it's a nice bite chunk size of a story. Something doesn't smell right. None of the dogs know what happens behind that door at the end of the hallway. All they know is that there's a punishment for sniffing around it. What secrets are hidden in the master's forbidden room? This is very much 101 Dalmatians meets Silence of the Lambs. It's probably the best way I can describe it. The art is great. It's very cartoony, but the storytelling is very eerie. Tony Fleeks leads you on a nice little journey, and then you're like slapped with like an ultimate plot twist, and you're like, I need more of this right now. So Stray Dogs number 2, Image number 205. That's what I'm going for Wednesday.
I'm gonna have to hunt that one down.
Yeah, you can find it at a decent price. You can still find number 1 at a decent price. There is a acetate cover also, which is going for about $20 online. You can probably find that. I'm going to try to hunt that one down. I mean, no, I'm not going to hunt it down. I also don't recommend anybody getting that limited edition acetate cover either.
No, don't do that.
Because I want it. I want that one. Don't please, for the love of God, don't do that.
Please don't.
Please, I want it. All right, let's go into number 3, man. What's your third pick for New Comic Book Day, March 24th, 2021?
So I am going with a Scout title, another indie title, man. I picked up this first issue. I was already drawn in. It's written by Jordan Thomas, art by Clark Bint, and it's called Frank at Home on the Farm. Mm-hmm. And it's the synopsis. I would probably say it's a twist between Twin Peaks and The Shining.
Oh.
And it basically opens up to the main character Frank coming back from. They call it the Big War, but you could totally see it's World War I. Mm-hmm. And he's coming in and looks just real strange, just like he's seen better days. He's been through war. Yeah. And in his head, he's coming home back to where he's from. In his head, he has that he's going to meet up with his parents. Well, he goes in and they're gone. I think there's some PTSD that is suffering, in his mind. But it takes you through this really crazy mind roller coaster of an issue. It's barely a day, and he's going into town, and he's searching for his family, and he's talking to the authorities, and nobody's ever heard of them at that. So towards the middle, it really opens up into something different. I mean, he's having illusions, and he's having dreams, and he's talking, to himself, and the artwork is amazing. It's real dark. It brings you into a lot of the things that he's suffering from. Mm-hmm. And at the very end, it leaves you with a cliffhanger. So I also read issue 2, just recently, and that's even worse. It gets really dark. It gets really down, and you get further information, and issue 3 is going to be out, I think, this week for sure on Wednesday. And I know with Scout titles that sometimes they're there right away. Sometimes you miss them right when you get there. But I had this on my pull, and my God, issue 2 left me wanting more, and I just want to finish this series up because it's just dark, it's eerie, it's right up my alley. It's a total mind twist, and it's just what an indie title should be, man. We got 3 indie titles that I picked out, but out of this one is just like around the horror genre for me.
Man, this is like horror centric. This episode, we have we have Stray Dogs. We have what's this one called?
This is Frank at Home on the Farm.
Frank at Home on the Farm. Horror-centric episode. This is probably something that we should have done closer to like Halloween, but hey, we're here now. This book sounds super, super interesting. So we're only on issue 3 now. Mm-hmm. Now I know Scout Comics, they do their deliveries a little bit different than everyone else. I know my LCS, they're not signed up for Scout, so it's one of those things I have to go to other shops for. These indie comic book publishers, they're really trying to build up a lot of hype behind their books. Man, do it. Go for it. You want to build hype behind a book, especially if it's low print. You want to sell these things out. And I get it. This is your marketing, and Scout's got their own way of doing it. I want to pick this one up. I'm probably gonna have to go look for number 1 and number 2 because you're gonna make me spend more money, Steve. Thanks.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, each one teach one. Don't hide it, divide it, man. Those indie titles are too hot not to pick up, man.
Exactly. Man, well, that one looks good. Sounds great. I'm probably gonna try to dig that one up, my friend. Let me get into my number 3. This is from Boom Studios, and I've been following this book since day one. I absolutely love the chemistry behind the two main characters, and recently they made a third character be a little bit more main. They've had this character do more within the book, which I like her character building. But did you grow up with any of the Arthur and, the Kings of the Round Table or the Knights of the Round Table stuff? Did you grow up like knowing that lore?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, this is a twist. This is Once and Future number 17. Kieran Gillen, art by Dan Moore. Dan Moore's art is fantastic. It's
definitely
gorgeous. It reminds me of 90s image art. I absolutely love the coloring. And then Kieran Gillen's writing in this one. He leads you through what honestly it's a wonderful and fun adventure that a grandson and a grandmother go through. I mean, it's so crazy what grandma and grandson have to do. Grandma knowing the lore of King Arthur and Merlin, and they're coming into England, and there's this whole evilness happening. I just love the whole story behind Once and Future. Now, there's a standoff between Duncan, Galahad, and Lancelot. Sir Lancelot in this book looks like he came straight out of a Spawn comic book in the 90s. I love his design. Is all that's preventing the other world and our world from colliding, but only one of them can be the greatest knight. And Duncan better hope it's him. Which is really funny because Duncan's very like a pushover, very I can't really do this. He's not the adventurous, I'm gonna go out and fight another knight type. He is like an accountant, glasses wearing, I can't go out there without my inhaler type of guy, and yet he's thrown into these adventures by his grandmother, who's like, Duncan, I need you, we need to go kill Lancelot right now. And he's like, isn't Lancelot like one of the good guys? Grandma's like, no, we need to go kill him. And it just, adventures ensue, madness ensues. And like I said, the coloring, the art style from Dan Moore, Kieran Gillen's writing in this one, I can't say how wonderful this book is. Oh, and finally, there's a dragon in this one. There's a dragon.
It's about to heat up.
I see what you did there.
Slipped it right in, man.
It's cool because this is just fun. There are times where I cannot explain why. And look, I'm not an English major. I'm not going to tell you what the direction the writer's going in with, the similes and the metaphors he's trying to bring in. I don't do any of that garbage. That's for all the intellectuals. I'm going to tell you how I feel about what I read. And this book has just been one of those fun, almost Indiana Jones-ish type adventures, and it's a wonderful book to be a part of. Once and Future number 17 for Wednesday, that's definitely a pickup for me, and I'm really excited because I need to see this dragon. I need to see this dragon.
You got me excited. I'm ready, man. When's Wednesday? Hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. It's Saturday. Come on, hurry up. Let's get this over with right here. Those are our top 3 picks right there. We have Steve Hip Hops and me with his beautiful picks, my top 3 picks. I mean, Wednesday can either be light or heavy depending on whether you listen to us or not.
Yeah, sorry. you got folks right there just looking at them like,
damn it. It's supposed to be 5 issues. Now I'm gonna have to pick up an extra 6. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh man, before I let you go, Steve, man, go ahead and plug your socials. Talk to everyone. Let them know how they can find you in Team Nerd Herd.
All right. So you can find us on Instagram at the Team Nerd Herd Podcast. You could find each and one of the co-hosts. You can find myself at hiphopsinme_comics_collectibles. We have a Thursday Mondo Mail Call show, a Sunday New Comic Book Day, Picks of the Week, and we also have many other things brewing, for content as we move into the new year. And as we move through it, we are excited to bring new content into the community.
And then you guys have a YouTube channel too, right?
YouTube channel is Team Nerd Herd Podcast. That's it, man. Team Nerd Herd Podcast. Look us up. We've dropped some new content recently, and we're super excited, and we hope you are too. So definitely check us out.
I've mentioned this on the last New Comic Book Day release with Ian. Man, Team Nerd Herd is like the Wu-Tang Clan of comic book podcasts. You have a bunch of individuals like-minded, all bring something different to the table, but all bring some great content to the table. So check out Team Nerd Herd. Find them on YouTube. Find them on Instagram, man. Steve, thank you so much for joining me this week. I truly, truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate your presence, my friend. It's the voice. You have that voice where you command people to buy comics, and I love it.
Well, thank you, Eman. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm a fan of you guys too, man. C-List Villains Podcast coming at you with that content, dude. You guys got to check them out. If you're not, go on in a sub up, hit that notification bell, and get that little jingle jangle on the most recent content from my man Eman and C-List.
You heard him right there. All right, well, you guys, like I said, like Steve said, I co-host the C-List Villains Podcast. New episodes are out every Saturday on iTunes, Spotify, your favorite podcast app. Remember, the C-List Villains, cultivators of the comic culture. All right, you guys, that's it for this week's New Comic Book Day picks for March 24th, 2021. Until the next issue, deuces.